Lights, camera, podcast. This is the Silver Screen Sessions podcast with your host, Pete. Your fortnightly dose of movie talk, reviews, and all things film. From blockbusters to hidden gems, Pete will be breaking down what's worth watching, what's overrated, and everything in between. So grab your popcorn, take your seats, and let's roll the reel.
Welcome back to the Silver Screen Sessions podcast, the show where we explore the movies that changed the game, stirred the imagination, and shaped the way we watch cinema. I'm Pete, and today we're opening the gates to an island that redefined blockbuster filmmaking, revolutionised special effects, and made us all believe that dinosaurs could walk the earth again. That's right, talking about Jurassic Park from 1993. Directed by Steven Spielberg, and based on Michael Crichton's best-selling novel, Jurassic Park is more than just a movie. It's a cinematic turning point. It's where storytelling, science, and technology collided to create something completely new. So grab your park pass, hop in your Ford Explorer, and hold on to your butts, because we're taking a deep dive into Jurassic Park, the wonder, the terror, the science, and the legacy that's still alive and roaring 30 years later. So the story. Welcome to the island of dreams and nightmares. The film opens with mystery and menace. Workers at a remote island facility are trying to transport a raptor, and when something goes horribly wrong, we only get glimpses of the creature. Spielberg sets the tone perfectly. You see almost nothing, but your imagination runs wild. Then we meet billionaire John Hammond, the smiling visionary behind a secret project, Jurassic Park. He's done the impossible. Cloned living dinosaurs using DNA extracted from fossilized mosquitoes preserved in amber. To calm his investors' nerves after that incident, Hammond invites a group of experts to the island for a sneak preview. Dr. Alan Grant, played by Sam Neill, a no-nonsense paleontologist who prefers bones to people. Dr. Ellie Sattler, played by Laura Dern, a sharp, compassionate paleobotanist. And then Dr. Ian Malcolm, played by Jeff Goldblum, a smooth-talking chaos theorist with a knack for predicting disaster. They're joined by Hammond's lawyer, played by Martin Farrow, a few tech workers, and his grandkids, Tim and Lex. At first, it's pure wonder. Spielberg gives us that moment. The music swells, the camera pans up, and we see a live Brachiosaurus grazing. The characters and the audience are in awe. It's one of the greatest reveals in movie history. But awe quickly turns to chaos. A tropical storm hits. Dennis Nedry, played by Wayne Knight, sabotages the park security system to steal embryos, and the electric fences fail. The dinosaurs are free. Cue the T-Rex attack, that rain-soaked, thunderous sequence where a cup of water becomes a symbol of dread. Then, of course, the raptors. Clever, fast, terrifying. Stalking the survivors through kitchens and corridors. It's a survival thriller disguised as a science fiction adventure, and it never stops moving. So the cast, the perfect team of science and humanity. Spielberg's casting was nothing short of genius. Sam Neill as Dr. Alan Grant gives us the grounded heart of the movie, the reluctant hero who's more comfortable with fossils than kids. His arc from skeptical scientist to surrogate protector is classic Spielberg, the gruff man who finds his heart when faced with chaos. Laura Dern as Dr. Ellie Sattler is the film's emotional compass. She's brave, compassionate, and intellectually formidable. A 90s female character written without cliché. Her scene where she restores the park's power while raptors stalk her through the jungle is pure tension. Jeff Goldblum, oh yes, as Dr. Ian Malcolm, the chaos theorist in black leather, half rock star, half philosopher. Every line he delivers is gold. Life finds a way. Became an instant culture catchphrase and still defines the franchise's core theme. Richard Attenborough as John Hammond brings charm and tragedy in equal measure. He's the dreamer who wants to play God but forgets what it means to be human. Fun fact, Spielberg based Hammond's look and attitude partly on Walt Disney, the man with a vision for the happiest place on earth. And we can't forget supporting players. Wayne Knight as the greedy Nedry, whose sabotage kickstarts the chaos. Samuel L. Jackson as Ray Arnold, delivering one of the film's most quoted lines, "Hold on to your butts." Bob Peck as Muldoon, the tough game warden who gets outsmarted by his own predators. Clever girl. Joseph Mazzello and Ariana Richards as Tim and Lex, who aren't just there for the ride, they're the emotional core for the second half. And there's a bit of fun bit of trivia. Harrison Ford was originally offered the role of Dr. Grant, and Sean Connery was considered Hammond. But Spielberg wanted less star power and more realism, and it paid off perfectly. So behind the scenes, the making of movie history. Now let's talk about the magic behind the movie, because Jurassic Park didn't just happen, it was technological leap that changed everything. Steven Spielberg had just finished Hook when Universal fast-tracked Jurassic Park. He'd read Michael Crichton's book before it was even published and immediately saw the cinematic potential. Originally, Spielberg planned to use stop-motion animation, with Phil Tippett of Star Wars and RoboCop fame leading the charge. Tippett even started designing articulated dinosaur models until Industrial Light and Magic did a test using CGI. They showed Spielberg a fully computer-generated T-Rex skeleton walking, and that was it. The future had arrived. Tippett saw the test and famously said, "I think I'm extinct." Spielberg loved the line so much, he added it into the script. In total, the movie only contains about 6 minutes of CGI dinosaurs. The rest were animatronics created by Stan Winston's team. Massive, lifelike machines that could move, roar, and even react to rain. The T-Rex puppet weighed over 9 tons and had to be dried constantly because its latex skin soaked up water and twitched unpredictably during filming. Spielberg filmed most of the action in Hawaii's Kauai Island and on Universal sound stages, but the production was grueling: sudden storms, malfunctioning dinosaurs, and endless resets. Yet through it all, Spielberg kept that sense of wonder front and centre. And here's something amazing. Jurassic Park wrapped filming just as Spielberg began Schindler's List. He edited Jurassic Park at night from a hotel room in Poland while directing one of the most serious films of his career during the day. 2 masterpieces in 1 year. That's Spielberg at his peak. So sound and score, the heartbeat of the park. Let's take a moment for John Williams, because that score isn't just background music, it's the emotional DNA of the movie. Williams composed 2 primary themes. The Discovery theme, that sweeping, majestic melody we hear as the character sees dinosaurs for the first time, it embodies awe and beauty. And the Terror theme, a darker, more primal motif that underscores the raptors and T-Rex moments. Together, they balance the film's 2 emotional poles, wonder and fear. And the sound design, groundbreaking. Sound designer Gary Rydstrom created the dinosaur noises by layering real animal sounds. The T-Rex roar combined lions, elephants and alligators. The Velociraptors, mostly dolphin and walrus calls, mixed with human screams. The sound of the footsteps, the rumbling water cup, the shifting leaves, every detail is designed to pull you into the world. When you hear that low thud of the T-Rex approaching, you feel it in your chest. So the science, philosophy and the message beneath the monsters. Now, for all its thrills, Jurassic Park is a deeply philosophical film. It's a modern Frankenstein story about humans pushing nature too far. Michael Crichton's original novel leaned heavily on chaos theory, ethics, and the unpredictability of life, and Spielberg preserved those ideas while making them accessible. Ian Malcolm says it best: "Your scientists were so preoccupied with whether or not they could, they didn't stop to think if they should." That's the line that echoes through every sequel and every debate about cloning, AI, or genetic engineering. Hammond's dream is pure. He wants to share wonder with the world, but nature isn't meant to be controlled. Jurassic Park isn't anti-science, it's a warning against hubris. It's also about evolution, personal and natural. Dr. Grant evolves as a character, learning to embrace care and connection. Humanity evolves too, learning painfully that we're not the apex species after all. So the legacy, how Jurassic Park changed everything. So let's talk legacy, because Jurassic Park didn't just make money, it changed the industry. The film grossed $1.046 billion worldwide and became the highest grossing movie of all time until Titanic in 1997. It won 3 Oscars, Best Visual Effects, Best Sound Mixing, and Best Sound Editing, and inspired a new generation of filmmakers. After Jurassic Park, CGI wasn't just a tool, it was the future. The work ILM did on this movie directly influenced The Matrix, Lord of the Rings, Avatar, and virtually every effects-heavy film since. Museums saw a surge in dinosaur exhibits, kids suddenly wanted to be paleontologists, and the film's marketing blitz changed how studios promoted blockbusters, from toys to lunchboxes to video games. And then came the sequels. The Lost World in 1997, directed by Steven Spielberg, Jurassic Park 3 in 2001, directed by Joe Johnston, Jurassic World in 2015, reigniting the franchise for the new generations, and Jurassic World Dominion 2022, closing the loop with legacy characters returning. But no sequel ever quite recaptured the first moment, that gasp when Grant and Ellie see a dinosaur alive again. That's the moment that defined movie magic. So Spielberg's direction, wonder, fear, and mastery. What makes Spielberg special is his instinct for awe. He knows exactly how to make you feel something. In Jurassic Park, he uses cinematic tools available, timing, sound, camera movement to guide your emotions. Notice how he builds tension. We rarely see a full dinosaur early on. He withholds the monsters until the perfect reveal. The T-Rex sequence is masterful. Rain pouring, lightning flashing, camera low to the ground. It's not just spectacle, it's suspense, character, and empathy all in one. Spielberg also knew when to slow down. That quiet dinner scene, where the scientists debate the ethics of the park, is pure Christian philosophy. It grounds the action in something meaningful. And then there's the ending, the helicopter flight, Hammond looking at his amber-topped cane, Williams' music swelling. It's not victory, it's reflection. Humanity escapes, but nature wins. So some fun facts and behind-the-scenes trivia. Right, so let's rapid fire some fun Jurassic facts. The T-Rex roar was mixed at such low frequency that theatres had to modify their sound systems to handle it. The park's visitor centre was inspired by the real Honolulu airport. The famous "objects in mirror are closer than they appear" gag wasn't in the script. It was improvised during editing. Spielberg storyboarded every major dinosaur sequence before shooting, over 1,000 individual frames. The movie used digital compositing for the first time ever to blend live action and CGI in the same frame seamlessly. Ariana Richards got her role as Lex after Spielberg watched her audition tape, and she said, "She screams better than anyone." The T-Rex scene with the collapsing fence was so intense that some of the children actors cried off camera, and Spielberg comforted them personally after each take. And the Dilophosaurus' frill and venom, pure invention. No evidence it existed. Spielberg just thought it looked cool. So my review and rating. For me, Jurassic Park is a perfect film, not just because it's thrilling, but because it has soul. It's equal parts wonder and warning, fun and fear. It reminds us of the magic of cinema, the feeling of seeing something impossible come to life right in front of you. 30 years later, it still holds up, visually, emotionally, and philosophically. Every generation deserves their first Jurassic Park moment. My rating, it's 10 out of 10. It's lightning in a bottle. Or maybe amber. And that's Jurassic Park, a movie that redefined what cinema could do and reminded us that no matter how far science advances, nature will always have the final say. If it's been a while since you last visited Isla Nublar, give it another spin. Watch it loud, in the dark, and let the theme wash over you. Now, before we close the gates on today's adventure, we're also closing the gates on something bigger. This episode marks the end of Season 1 of the Silver Screen Sessions podcast. Over the season, we've explored everything from 80s blockbusters to 60s pop nostalgia, from cult classics to sci-fi epics. It's been an incredible journey, and whether you've listened to one episode or all of them, I cannot thank you enough for joining me. But just like the T-Rex in the rear view mirror, don't worry, the Silver Screen Sessions will be back. We're already lining up movies, ideas, deep dives, and more to bring you an even bigger and bolder Season 2. Until then, keep watching great films, keep finding the magic in movies, and remember, life finds a way.